But here at Denville Hall, Northwood, the faded playbills, the treasured theatre programs, the quaint old portraits on the wall, they remember, and so do the old folks. Letters bring them news of their children, and who's to know they do not relive and recapture the thrill of their own triumphs in the successes of a new generation of actors and actresses.
Nestled in the serene suburb of Northwood, London, Denville Hall stands as a symbol of grace and gratitude within the performing arts community. This historic Victorian Gothic mansion, originally constructed as Mays Farm in the 16th century, has transformed over the centuries into a sanctuary for actors, actresses, and entertainment professionals who dedicated their lives to the craft. Since 1926, when Alfred Denville converted it into a retirement home in memory of his son Jack, Denville Hall has been a refuge for those who grace stages and screens. Princess Louise formally inaugurated the home, and it has since been a cherished residence for countless theatrical legends. Today we're taking a look at Denville Hall's history, its significance, and the stories of the extraordinary entertainers who found solace within its walls. Denville Hall, a haven for performers. The story of Denville Hall began with its roots in Mays Farm, a modest structure with a rich history that dates back to the 16th century. Over the centuries, the property was transformed, becoming Northwood Hall in the 18th century under the ownership of Sir John Vaughan, a judge of considerable renown. In 1851, it was rebuilt in Victorian Gothic style by Daniel Norton, who added the grandeur that still defines it. Alfred Denville, a theatrical impresario and actor-manager, purchased the property in 1925. Motivated by the tragic death of his son Jack, a soldier and actor who died from complications related to wartime injuries, Denville sought to create a sanctuary for his peers in the acting world. In 1926, he formally established Denville Hall as a retirement home for theatrical professionals. Richard Attenborough.
British film actor and director Richard Attenborough has died at the age of 90 after a long illness. On hearing of his death, Prime Minister David Cameron described him as one of cinema's greats.
Richard Attenborough's name is synonymous with British cinema. His career spanned over 6 decades, encompassing acting roles in iconic films like Brighton Rock and The Great Escape, as well as directorial triumphs like the Oscar-winning Gandhi. Yet Attenborough's connection to Denville Hall extended beyond his illustrious career. Alongside his wife, Sylvia Syms, he became deeply involved in supporting the home, serving as its president and providing both financial and moral backing. In his later years, he made Denville Hall his residence, finding solace among his peers. Despite suffering health challenges, including a stroke, he remained a source of inspiration within the community. Sylvia Syms.
English actress Sylvia Syms has died at the age of 89. Ms Syms' acting career spanned more than 6 decades. She was best known for her films Ice Cold in Alex, The Queen and Victim.
Sylvia Syms, a luminous star of British cinema, graced screens with performances in films like Ice Cold in Alex, Victim, and The Tamarind Seed. Known for her elegance and ability to convey deep emotion, Syms became a fixture in the industry, transitioning seamlessly from leading lady roles to supporting parts in her later career, including her portrayal of the Queen Mother in The Queen. Syms spent her final years at Denville Hall, where she became an integral part of its vibrant community. Fellow residents and staff alike appreciated her warmth and dedication to her craft. While many of her peers slowed down in retirement, Syms maintained her love for acting, sharing anecdotes and insights with those around her. Her presence at Denville Hall was a poignant reminder of the artistry and resilience that defined her career. Brian Rix.
His later life would be defined by his serious campaigning work, but this is what made Brian Rix a household name in the 60s and 70s.
You can't be Cecil, you're a palette from South America.
Brian Rix, affectionately dubbed the King of Farce, built his career on laughter. With a knack for comedic timing and an ability to turn any situation into hilarity, Rix became a household name through performances in farcical plays and television comedies. Offstage, his efforts as an advocate for people with disabilities made him a beloved figure beyond the entertainment industry. He found his final home at Denville Hall, where he continued to champion causes close to his heart. His sense of humor remained intact, often regaling fellow residents with tales of his theatrical exploits. Even in retirement, Rix's passion for storytelling and his commitment to helping others set him apart. Denville Hall provided a backdrop for his later years, offering a space where his comedic genius and humanitarian spirit could shine among peers who shared his love for performance. Carmen Silvera.
Tonight, I will sing as I have never sung before.
What, in tune?
Carmen Silvera, best remembered as Edith Artois in the beloved sitcom Allo Allo, had a career that blended humor with heartfelt performances. On screen, she portrayed the long-suffering wife of a bumbling cafe owner with charm and comedic precision. Off-screen, she was known for her sharp wit and dedication to her craft, qualities that made her a treasured figure in British television. She chose Denville Hall as her retirement home, where her presence was both calming and uplifting. She brought the same humor and warmth that had endeared her to audiences into her interactions with fellow residents. Her time at Denville Hall was a natural continuation of her life's work, blending personal experiences with the collective history of a community bound by shared love of the arts. Peter Sallis.
At the time when I did it, I didn't think this is going to make cinema history. But 6 years later, in 1989, when the phone went and he said, "I've finished it," I thought, oh, it's only taken him 6 years. That was a bit thick.
Peter Sallis, whose gentle voice gave life to Wallace in the Wallace and Gromit series, was a stalwart of British entertainment. While many know him for his work in animation, Sallis also shone in long-running roles such as Clegg in Last of the Summer Wine. His understated style of acting allowed him to connect deeply with audiences, making him a beloved figure in British households. In retirement, he found comfort and camaraderie in Denville Hall. For him, the hall represented a continuation of the storytelling tradition he had spent his life cultivating. Residents marveled at his humility and the depth of his experiences, often gathering to hear his reflections on his career. His years at Denville Hall underscored the importance of a community where artists could share their journeys. Maurice Denham.
But the trouble was that nobody quite knew whether it was going to be all the actual animal noises, just the sort of like that, you see, or whether it had to be words coming through the sort of like revolution and that sort of thing.
Maurice Denham's distinctive voice and commanding presence made him a fixture in British radio and film. His work in productions like Animal Farm and The Day of the Jackal demonstrated his versatility and depth. A true craftsman, Denham brought dignity and intelligence to every role he undertook, earning the admiration of his peers. At Denville Hall, Denham became a revered member of the community, often lending his voice to readings and informal performances. His ability to weave narratives captivated both residents and staff, ensuring that his legacy continued to inspire long after his retirement. Billie Whitelaw.
Oh, this is a happy day.
She performed Buried to the Waist in Sand in one of his plays.
After all,
time she stopped.
In another, she sat almost silent in a rocking chair.
All eyes, all sides.
Billie Whitelaw, often referred to as Samuel Beckett's muse, was a tour de force in the world of theater and film. Her intensity on stage and screen left an indelible mark, particularly through her collaborations with Beckett and her chilling performance in The Omen. Whitelaw's career was defined by her ability to inhabit complex, emotionally rich characters. Denville Hall became Whitelaw's sanctuary in her later years, offering her a supportive environment to reflect on a lifetime of achievements. Fellow residents marveled at her dedication to her craft, often recounting her performances with awe. Whitelaw's time at Denville Hall underscored the home's role as a space where artistic legacies are cherished and celebrated. Andrew Sachs.
Yes, yes, yes! Oh, you cannot listen. He not here. How many times? Where are your ears, you great big half-wit? He not here! Listen!
Andrew's iconic characters. Though often typecast in comedic roles, Sachs demonstrated a remarkable range throughout his career, appearing in dramas, radio plays, and audiobooks. His ability to balance comedy with genuine emotion made him a standout performer. Sachs spent his final years at Denville Hall, where his playful personality and love for storytelling continued to shine. Residents often spoke of his humility and kindness, traits that made him a beloved figure on and off screen. Other notable names:
Sissy, what was I saying when Dolly interrupted?
You were complaining about the food, Flora.
Not without cause. I shall keep that egg.
While Denville Hall provided solace to many, its halls also housed a range of other remarkable talents. Pat Coombs, a beloved figure in British television, spent her later years here. Arnold Ridley, famous for his portrayal of Private Godfrey in Dad's Army, was another cherished resident. Jean Mockford, remembered for her role as the eccentric Senna the Soothsayer in Up Pompeii, brought her vibrant energy to Denville Hall as well. Daphne Oxenford, a pioneer of radio broadcasting and a familiar face in shows like Coronation Street, also resided at Denville Hall. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these actors' legacies stands out most to you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.